You've been famous for glide bait fishing, and you've been developing this bait for a long time now.
Yes,
and
long.
it's available right now. Tell us about it.
Like a little kid in a candy store, pretty much this week. This is 3 years in the making. So this is the Stormarashi glide bait. Give you guys just a quick little peek of that. I've been teasing it a little bit on social media and stuff, and I've got hundreds of pictures and hundreds of hours of just content and footage from this bait over the last 3 years of going through different prototypes. And what we realized is, like, what I really wanted a bait to do, the hardest part was that a lot of those things were contradicting. So the things I was asking the PD team to come up with were contradicting each other. And what I mean by that is I wanted a bait that could glide super wide, right? So back and forth, super wide, you know, where I'm getting a good couple foot chunk side to side. But then I also wanted to be able to burn that bait and keep that bait stable where it didn't blow out and it would track nice and true and the joints would tighten up and you could burn that bait and stop it and not have the hooks foul up. And that's really what took the longest.
Wow.
Was to be able to get this bait to do all of those things, because I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, let other people figure it out if they want to try building baits, but those things contradict each other when you're building a bait.
Yeah.
To
That
make
makes
one
sense.
do one thing really well or do the other really well, the bait is built completely opposite. And so we really had to get into the shape, the weighting, even where this line tie is located. If you move this up or down a centimeter, it changes how that bait reacts in the water and the stability of it, even all the way down to like tail hardness and how much this tail can flex in the water, things like that. And so it's a very stable bait, but it took a long time to get that stability into it. And I think that's probably the biggest separator from a lot of other glide baits out there, because I've thrown nearly all of them, and there's a ton of really good ones out there, but it's hard to find one that can do all of those things. And so I wanted to build one that the guy that hasn't ever thrown a bait can pick it up and he can easily fish it and do those things without getting frustrated with the hooks fouling up or getting hung up. I want a guy to be able to just slowly reel this thing. And so we'll give you guys a little bit, some tips on how to actually fish this thing.
Now, number one, let me interrupt. They're probably a
Yeah.
little pissed off at you over product development. They're like, dude, you're sending it back again?
Yeah, I think there was a point in the 3 years that they thought, are we ever actually going to release this thing?
Right.
But I was not going to put this one out without it being what I considered to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
I have so much passion about swim bait fishing, and I've spent so many hours dialing it in that I want, if we were going to build one, I wanted it to be right. And if that took another 2 years, you know, if it would have been 5 years down the road, like, I was willing to go through that battle and that journey to get it. And I think there were definitely some times they're like, you know, can we push this out? We need to get it out.
Well, I tell you what, you know, novice glide bait anglers like myself appreciate it, because
Yeah.
we need something that is simple,
Yep.
that isn't, because it's somewhat of a complicated technique. But one of the things that most of the people that I talk to, and myself included, is we're intimidated
Yeah.
to throw a bait like this. What advice can you give us that are intimidated to pick up a 6-inch bait that weighs about 8 ounces?
So
to
the
fish?
biggest thing you need to understand is that bass are opportunistic feeders. And what I mean by that is when you present them an opportunity, they will take advantage of it, because they don't have a dinner menu that they can order off of and have someone bring food to them, right? So a lot of times they're an ambush and an opportunistic feeder, so they will hide next to a dock or in a grass bed or around a rock pile or something where they can ambush the bait when it comes by. And so when that opportunity presents itself, they take advantage of it. The other thing is that swim bait fishing is generally targeting larger than average fish, right? So if I go up to Chesapeake Bay and I'm fishing out there on the flats, I will catch fish on this, guaranteed. There will be a time of year that the fish are out there, the water's clean enough, I can catch fish on this. I say that because I've caught some on it, on the prototypes when we were there. But what will happen is even pressured fish will react different to a swim bait, and especially a glide bait. So once you start doing it, you see these fish in this trance. And so
It's Mike Iaconelli. This is Bass U TV.
Here's what's awesome about Bass U TV.
You get the top instructors.
Real tools that help you catch more fish consistently.
And that's why you want to check out Bass U TV.
Join the Bass U family.
Welcome to Bass U TV.